7.5 billion. I've been trying to wrap my head around what these words mean this entire day. Since this morning I heard this news. Microsoft has now purchased Bethesda. Holy shit. This is absolutely huge for Microsoft, because now they have become more of a force in the gaming industry than I'd argue they've ever been before, because now they have access to all these insane franchises with so much clout behind them. You know, Fallout, my favorite, Doom, Elder Scrolls, and even some of their upcoming games. The Evil Within, oh my god, I freaking love the first one. I haven't played the second one yet, but the first one I freaking loved. But damn, man, this is just absolutely insane. You know, it's kind of crazy because throughout this entire later half of this year, it's kind of been a counterpunch game, if you will, with Xbox and Sony, because you know Xbox does something and Sony does something, and Xbox does something and Sony does something. And then it's like Xbox comes out with this humongous reveal that they actually are going to purchase Bethesda, and it breaks the whole scope of what Microsoft is going to do this generation. If one thing, they definitely do not want to lose this generation. That's what this tells me, because the fact that they're going out of the way to spend that much fucking money on one company, granted they have a bunch of different studios, so not only are they getting Bethesda, but they're getting all those other studios that are with them. It just speaks volumes about how truly serious they are about this next generation. And I gotta say, with this news, I am infinitely more closer to buying a Series X, not on release of course, but eventually, than ever before. Because the fact that they're gonna have games from all those different companies along with the companies that they already bought, it's kind of insane. So of course maybe Sony will have something to counteract this, like they've kind of been doing. They're kind of in a reaction mode, if you've seen. I don't know what the hell can match this though, because Bethesda is a humongous company that has a legion of fans, and it's just they make, you know, good buggy games, but good games nonetheless. Damn, man, it's just I'm still in shock, even though this news is fairly, well, not too old, but it's still fairly old at this point. I'm still just trying to adjust to this actually being a thing. The fact that after Ghostwire and Deathloop, which are actually exclusive deals, or like timed exclusive deals with Sony that they're doing for 1 year, I believe, which is kind of funny because now Sony is paying that company to make Ghostwire and Deathloop, but it's like they're not paying that company anymore, they're paying Microsoft. So it's like they're paying Microsoft to put exclusive games on their system. That is a whole nother can of worms that I'm trying to wrap around. That's like Nintendo paying Sony to make God of War exclusive or some shit. That is funny. But wow, I just can't believe this. Gaming has gotten a lot more interesting, especially with September, more specifically, because there's been a lot more reveals, a lot more things going on. Things are starting to heat up with especially the consoles that are about to launch, the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, and then also their digital counterparts, which I'm not a big fan of at all. I absolutely despise the concept of those two, because I've seen people, myself, who are more inclined to get the digital versions, and I'm just like, I don't want to live in this world where we have to freaking buy everything from the digital store, because then if I buy a game, this is what hurts me the most. If I buy a game and I don't like it for a full $60, now $70 price tag, I can't freaking sell it. That's like one of the worst things about it. But then there's also the ownership, and then there's also developers getting lazy with them just releasing just these unfinished piece of shit games. Like, I don't want to live in that world. I love my physical media. I love just owning the game, being able to say that this is mine. I don't have to re-buy anything. Don't have to buy anything else. Don't have to be at risk of it being off the service, so I can't even play it. I don't have to be any risk for that, and I don't have to be at risk like being locked out of my game or anything. It just, I own that physical piece, and it's just, I don't like this whole digital shit. I don't at all. But of course, PS5 and Series X will have digital versions, and they're gonna be significantly cheaper. Series X is actually $100 cheaper than the PS5 version. But at the end of the day, I still don't care. I definitely don't recommend you personally getting it. You, the person watching, getting it, because that is just awful. Because not having the ownership of your games is just, that's no deal for me. The moment gaming turns all digital for me, that's when I stop playing new games. This Bethesda acquisition is absolutely huge, and it's pushed me definitely a lot more into getting a Series X. A lot more. Like, honestly, I'm infinitely more interested in the Series X than I ever was before. As far as the PS5 goes, I haven't really been interested in anything that they've announced. They showed off God of War Ragnarok, and by showed off, I mean they Metroid Prime 4'd you and gave you a title screen or a logo. It's like, I'm good. No, I have zero interest in a PS5 whatsoever, especially after this. And then a lot of these PS5 games come over to PS4 or PC any damn way. So that's just another reason for me to not get the system. And let's not even talk about Nintendo. Let's jump to that real quick. Nintendo fucking gave us this Megaton Direct out of nowhere, because that seems to be what they're doing nowadays. Just boom, here's a random fucking Direct. Boom, here's a random Direct out of nowhere, out of left field, all the way by the worst pitcher ever. It just hits you in the fucking face. But it's actually amazing because you get all these damn great games. So let's go down all these freaking games that they announced. Now, the first game they showed was Monster Hunter Rise, a exclusive Monster Hunter game to the Switch, and that game looks so much fun. I just can't wait to use that whip power with the insect glaive, so I can just launch with the insect glaive, then whip over, and then swing all the way down. It's just, oh my god, that just visualizing what that could look like, it's just, it's so awesome. That game looks freaking fantastic. They have dogs now apparently, which I think is really cool because you can traverse the whole environment, run up walls. Oh my god, that game looks awesome. Like, if there's any game out there that would actually genuinely make me buy Switch Online, that would be it. Because that was one of my main problems with Switch Online. It's like, there's no real games out there besides like Splatoon 2 that I really want to play online, because I'm not really interested in Smash. So that could be one. That could be it. It's definitely better than playing a 3DS port, which was their first game. But I'm glad that we're getting a lot more third-party support, and let's just move on, okay? Monster Hunter Stories 2. Now, I haven't played the first one. I'm actually just bought the first Monster Hunter Stories, and I'm actually gonna start playing that to prepare for this one. But that's awesome too, because I looked up stuff about the game, and I was like, wait a minute, it's a turn-based RPG. Okay, I'm already sold. The fact that it's turn-based and it's an RPG, it's over. I'm getting this day one along with Monster Hunter Rise. Like, awesome. Two games, right? That two Monster Hunter games next year. And then, oh my god, we had Disgaea 6, where they're using like this 3D graphical style. It's very new. Not sure how I feel about that, but the fact that it's exclusive to Switch, at least in America apparently, I'm fully down for that too, because I freaking loved Disgaea 1 and 2. I wasn't really that big of a fan of 3. I want to at least play 4 before I play this one, because I've been trying to play them, in moderation, of course. So I want to at least play 4 before I get into this, but definitely gonna get that as well. And then freaking Rune Factory 5, that game looks everything that I wanted it to look like. Oh my god. I love the Switch so much. It's like the fact that this is stuff that we haven't really heard of, like with the really only exception of Rune Factory 5, which was announced beforehand. This is all new stuff on top of the stuff that they're already getting. And we'll get to one of those games. Let's just get to it right now. What? Oh my God. No More Heroes 3 got delayed. Oh my God. That was the saddest news of all time. I know the game's gonna be freaking fantastic. I'm glad he's taking his time with it, but damn, man. I was so looking forward to that game. Oh my God. I can't wait to see like a new trailer of that game though, because I know they're gonna blow me away with whatever the hell this suit is gonna freaking pull out of his hat of infinite creativity. Man, just can't wait to see what they do new in like gameplay. Like, oh my God, that made me so upset. That made me so upset. But I know it's gonna be a great game. You know, of course, as with another announcement, we don't really have to worry about this half of the years, because we also had Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, which was a very big shocker because everybody was expecting like Breath of the Wild 2 or something like that. But no, we have Hyrule Warriors, a new Zelda game, and this is a prequel to Breath of the Wild, which is really, really unique and very cool. Because that's really like the main selling point for me. Like the fact that it's a prequel to Breath of the Wild, I'm all in. I hope and I pray that there's no DLC nonsense, because they DLC'd us to death with the freaking first one. They had all the different packs, and like I just hope that they can do something differently with this one in terms of like the gameplay as well. Because I honestly can't even go back to the first one. I can't. I can hardly even play a map without feeling bored, because, you know, you'd think that being overpowered and everything would feel amazing, but when you do it so much in such a frequent capacity, it's just like, I just hope they can change it up. I know they had Fire Emblem Warriors, and that kind of just came out and became just as irrelevant as ARMS, but hopefully this one can significantly change the formula. So a recent rumor actually happened that Nintendo is actually going out and asking developers to be prepared for 4K gaming. So you know me, I don't really give a damn about graphics, don't care whatsoever about how many teraflops are going to be on a system, or how many backflips it's going to do, or how many dolphin dives it's going to. I don't care about any of that nonsense. I care about how fun is the game, does it look fun, does it play great, you know, does it have heart in it, is it not a soulless game? Like, these are the types of things I look for in games. I look for the fun factor, not how pretty it looks or any of the stupid nonsense. This could be something that could be huge for people, because you'll have your main Switch that can switch, you'll have your Switch Lite that's handheld only, and then what some are saying with this 4K Switch is that it's going to be undockable. So it's going to be a console-based Switch that's going to have a lot of power. So this could, you know, complete the cycle of having all three, you know, different audiences for one system that all play the same games. And I think, you know, if they actually do this, if it's actually true, that could be a really smart idea, because it'd cater to the people that want, you know, to switch, people that want handheld only, and people that want to see dolphin dives. It could be, you know, the perfect trifecta. So if it's true, I think it'd be great. It'd also be a really good competition for the Series X and PS5, at least in terms of matching for power. Personally, like I said, I want to be, you know, interested in this. I would be interested in like a Switch Pro, but only if it switches, because that's like my ultimately like my favorite aspect about the Switch and why I love it so much. And it's actually a reason why I play stuff like Animal Crossing longer than I ever would have on any other system, because I can play it both handheld and docked, as opposed to just restricted to one different way. So my game highlight for you guys today is Balan WonderWorld. Now, if you haven't heard about this game, definitely put it on your list right now, because this is a 3D platformer that's coming from the producer of the freaking Sonic series and Nights into Dreams, Yuji Naka. This game looks exactly like a spiritual successor to Nights, or it looks like a game that would be perfect in terms of just a crossover maybe with Knights. Like, I feel like it would fit just so well. It's a 3D platformer. Looks like you're gonna have a bunch of different outfits, gonna have a bunch of different levels. I'm so down for any 3D platformer nowadays. I gotta take what I can get, right? But this looks like it could be definitely a very big quality, and I highly recommend you guys check out the trailer that was in the Nintendo Direct. So that's it from me today. Let me know if you guys have any thoughts on anything that I've talked about today. And remember, while we're living it, we're just trying to find the fun of it. 7